his left leg bent at the knee, his right leg straight as a stilt. He smoothed a wad of bills in the palm of his hand, rubbing them flat with his thumb. Terence checked his cell phone for messages. Charlie usually called this time of day to nag him. It was only last week that Terence had been told by his doctor that his cholesterol was north of 260, and Charlie was adamant about both of them going on diets. Must be an Asian thing. He caught his reflection in the mirrors over the booth where two teenage boys were huddled in conversation, fries and chocolate shakes between them. Sure, Terence thought, I could lose a couple of pounds. Starting tomorrow, he promised Charlie in absentia. Tony Salazar looked up from the cash register and smiled. Hey, Mr. Unger. Blowing like a mother out there, huh?
Blowing like always.
Tell me about it. Tony nodded. Gonna have your usual?
And a chocolate shake,
Terence said, thinking what the hell as he watched one of the kids in the booth poke his spoon into a frosted fountain glass. Terence Unger would be the first to die. Shanty Rourke yanked open the door to Stella's and winced at the smell of cleaning fluid. He stepped inside, pulling the door closed before the wind could catch it, and looked around. That fat faggot with the comb-over who was a stockbroker or something was turning away from the counter with a cheeseburger, onion rings, and a chocolate shake. Just what he needed with a gut like that. Crossing the room, Shanty nodded to the two boys in the back booth. The Mexican kid had laid a 10 on him half an hour ago in front of the Staples. Usually kids didn't give him anything, but this one always seemed to have a fistful on him. Shanty reached into the pocket of his old fatigue jacket as he approached the girl at the register.
Coupon still good this late?
For you, Shanty, any time, Tony said. Shanty liked this girl. Maybe she had a few more piercings than she should have, but she treated him like a human, letting him use the bathroom when the manager wasn't around. Shanty smiled. His teeth pocked and rotten from years of heroin, years of methadone, years of sugar to cut the Jones, and smoothed the 10 onto the counter.
Any chance I can get you to keep the change?
No can do, but thanks anyway. Again. Shanty took his food and looked for a place to sit.
It's all right. I'm having a good day.
He would be shot twice in the head. Tony Salazar checked the clock. Now that the lunch rush was over, all she could think about was walking up to Ashmont Street in this wind and catching the crosstown to SFCC. She was 5 units short of her secretarial degree. Then it was bye-bye minimum wage. And bye-bye Sammy. Boy, had he been a mistake. This was the new improved Tony. No more mistakes like that asshole. Tony watched as Shanty Rourke took a seat near the front door, carefully draped his fatigue jacket over the back of a chair like it was a tuxedo jacket, and started in on his 2-for-1. Through the window just beyond Shanty, Tony saw Father Francis stepping up to the sidewalk, his hair whipping in the wind, his eyes squinting at the roiling dust. The poor guy looked so exhausted from all those hours working over at the AIDS hospice. Young man like him, Tony thought, ought to have more life in him. Father Francis ate the same thing every day: veggie burger, apple turnover, and milk. The 3 most boring things on the menu. Maybe it was some kind of abstinence thing. Tony put in his order before he even entered. Save him some time, tired as he was. Tony Salazar would be shot in the abdomen and the left side. She would live a few minutes longer than the others. Liberty Street was so steep that only diagonal parking was permitted on its upper blocks. SFPD patrol cruiser number 1534 pulled into a space by the fire hydrant in front of Art's Deli. The 2 patrol cops could feel their black and white shudder as a sudden gust of wind blasted up the hill from San Francisco.